All right. Hello, everyone. Morgan Heitzman here with Scott Leroy Marketing. And today we're going to be talking about Docusign. So today's class is going to be Docusign 201. I know for those of you who were tuning in last week, I know we had Docusign 101, but I'm not sure if that class was live or not. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to actually run through what that first initial part of setting up that Docusign would look like, as well as those additional tips and tricks. So we may run over just by a few moments, but just know that I'm going to do my best to cover pretty much everything within our Docusign and KW command connection here today for you. With that being said, if you guys have any questions throughout today's training here, please feel free to use the chat box down below. I'll do my best to kind of stop throughout today's training and kind of answer those questions on the spot. If by chance I miss those questions, I'm going to stay after for a few minutes at the end of class here today to get those answered for you. And if by chance I don't know the question, right? If I don't know the answer, please feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We have some amazing team members on the back end here to kind of help you out. So as we're taking a look here today, you see that I have my KW command login page right here. We're going to primarily be focused on our Docusign. However, it's always good to kind of get a good base and start off with that initial connection to make sure that everything is working properly between your Docusign as well as your KW command. So what we have here today is agent.kw.com. This is your very first time signing into the KW command platform. It's going to take your KW username and password. So this is generally your username and password for your My KW, your KW command, and your KW Connect. So we just kind of lump this up as your KW login. Now, for today's demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and sign in underneath Scott's login here today. And as we sign in here, you should be taken to the home page. And I'm going to zoom up just a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit easier. And on the home page here, as we're kind of thinking about Docusign really shines within the opportunities section within our KW command. So if I were to click on this red KW square on the top left-hand corner here, you'll see our left-hand icons, which are our menu pages within our KW command. We're going to be looking at our opportunities here. But before we get there, we want to make sure that our Docusign is set up. So we'll click on our name on the top right-hand corner here. And once we give that a click, it'll give us a drop-down right here. And we're going to actually be looking at the settings portion of this drop-down. Now, within this settings page right here, you'll have all of these different icons or third-party platforms that if you're already currently using these, you can go ahead and connect it right here to utilize it within your KW command. However, there's going to be one connection that's going to be a little bit different here, and that's going to be the Docusign section. This Docusign section is actually how we create our KW branded Docusign account. So for those of you who are wondering, can I use a paid Docusign? Can I use a personal free Docusign account? Unfortunately, as the way that it sits right now, a paid or personal Docusign account is not set up for the functionality that the KW branded Docusign account is set up for. AKA, your personal and paid Docusign accounts don't have Docusign rooms as a feature. So unfortunately, the only way to kind of get a secure Docusign connection with your KW command is going to be through here within the settings. So you'll see that I already have mine set up right here. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it. I'm going to pretend like this is my very first time taking a look at this settings page and getting my Docusign connected. As I scroll down right here, when I disconnected, this Docusign went away. You'll initially find this underneath your digital signature and transactions section. So it'll give you different titles as we scroll down right here. So you'll see social, productivity. It's going to be underneath digital signature and transactions. Now, when we give this a click here and we click on connect, there's going to be essentially two options that we can choose. We can choose the first initial registration invite. So if this is our first time, we can put our first name, our last name, as well as our preferred email in right here. And then we can send over that registration email. One thing to keep in mind, though, is if this email address is already associated with one of those personal Docusign accounts, you'll get an ugly red error down below here saying that this email address is not compatible because it's already being used by another account. So when we give this a look here, if you get that error, chances are one of two things. You already have this email address that is connected to another Docusign account, or you might have possibly already set up your Docusign account through KW command, and you don't need to send through another registration email. So before I continue onward on this page right here, just note that if we think in the world of login information, our first name, last name, and our email is going to be great, but we actually need a login and password. So we don't have an option to create a password here. What's going to happen is when you send that registration email, Docusign is going to give you DocuSign is going to send you an email saying, click here to finish your registration, or verify, or authorize, whatever that small little orange button is going to be inside that email. Now, when you give that a click, it'll take you over to Docusign.com. You'll go ahead and complete your password as well as your security question. So like your mother's maiden name, your first pet, things like that. So this will be the first half of that, setting up that connection. The second portion with your password is going to come in the form of a Docusign email for you. Now, as we take a look here, you notice that I first disconnected my Docusign account, which means that I already have a Docusign account set up. And if we ever somehow get our Docusign disconnected through our settings here, or if we are just playing around with the settings, or something is broken and we need to disconnect and reconnect really quick, this is how you would do that. You would actually select this secondary link right here that says log in here. And when I give this a click, it'll give me that email address. My email that I signed up with Docusign is going to be morganheitzma@kw.com. And then I'll go ahead and just type, click the login here button. And it will give me a pop-up right here to complete my password and just secure that connection. I'll go ahead and click in my password right here. And then I should get a nice banner up top here that says Docusign is now ready and can be found within your opportunities in the documents section. So again, this would be how you set up your KW Docusign account to be compatible within your opportunities inside of your command. So taking a look here, one thing that I would like to stress is if you are looking to do an email swap, I would say Docusign is one of the more difficult, picky third-party platforms that needs a specific set of steps in order to complete that email swap. Otherwise, it might lock you out of your Docusign rooms. So if you're looking to swap your email address, it's kind of, we have a few step process for you to ensure that that does not happen. But just note that that if you are looking to swap your email address but still retain that KW account, reach out to us and let us know, and we have a set of instructions for you. All right, so taking a look at this right here, again, if you guys have any questions, if I went through that too quickly, just throw your comments in the chat box down below. How do I get a realtor logo next to my signature in Docusign? I believe that may have to be entered in there. I'm not 100% sure that signatures will allow those logos or images, but we can dive in there for sure and take a look. So now that we have our Docusign connected here, I'm going to actually make my way to opportunities. But before I actually am able to create an opportunity, I would first need to create a contact, or make sure that contact is inside of my database. Because KW command, on the back end, the algorithms read to which contact do you want to apply the opportunity to. So if the contact's not there, you won't have the option to select the contact. Same with your marketing. To which smart plan do you want to apply this contact to? So the name of the game inside a KW command is truly getting as much information in your database on your contacts as you can, so you can utilize all these different tools. Now, when I jump in right here, I'm going to skip over creating a contact, but just note that if you guys are wondering, how do I create a contact? How do I create an opportunity? Because I'm going to kind of skip through that as well. We have in-depth classes on how to utilize both of these portions right here. So just note that, that I do have additional information for you if you're looking for that. Now, as we're taking a look right here, I'm just going to make my way to my opportunities. And I'm just going to quickly create a just a simple opportunity on the listing side. And let's see. There we go. I'll use myself as the client, as the listing client, and Scott is going to be the agent because we're underneath Scott's KW command account. Okay. As we scroll down through here, just note that if I'm going too quick, I have more info for you. Now, just very quickly created an opportunity here. And once you create an opportunity, you're able to enter that opportunity, and it'll first take you to the details tab. So again, if I'm inside of my my opportunities page and I click on cultivate here, you should see that I have that Morgan Heitzma listing right here. And if I click on the blue title, it'll open me up into that opportunity. Now, taking a look across this menu option right here, we have details, seller profile, marketing, documents, offers and commissions, notes, and timeline. Taking a closer look at documents here, this is where we're actually going to go to submit our documents to our market center to be approved. So, so this is going to be how you really kind of add all of those documents in. You can drag and drop from your computer, which will be that first initial option here. But you'll also have the option to pull your forms, your signed documents from Docusign as well. And this is going to take a couple step process right here. Okay, so the first step is making sure that Docusign is set up within your setting. The reason for this is if it's not successfully connected, this button right here that says start a transaction will not be visible for you. So you may not see this start a transaction button, which is truly our way to enter inside of our Docusign rooms. So first things first is making sure that's connected. Secondly, when we go over here to our opportunities, the start a transaction button may be one of two colors for you. It may be dark gray like you're seeing it right now, or it could be white with blue text right here. The difference between these two are visual indications that you do or do not have a Docusign room with this opportunity yet. A dark gray button means that we have not created a Docusign room yet. The white button with blue text means that there is one linked, okay? So taking a look at this right here, I don't have one connected, but if I were to go ahead and click on this drop down and choose Docusign right here, it will give me a new tab up at the top of my browser and have me enter into that Docusign room. So right now I was creating the Docusign room. And now we have that room created. So, so now everything we do inside of this Docusign room right here is going to be for this one transaction for Morgan Heitzma listing right. And so again, as you see, that dark gray button also turned to that white button with blue text. It also has a nice link icon right here, just letting you know that it is linked together. Now, the very last thing that I wanted to mention on here, the third thing here, is going to be whenever you switch or connect your Docusign to an opportunity, you originally had the option to attach from your computer right here. It may swap over to Docusign as we connect that. But as we take a look down below here, you'll see that there's going to be a number of grayed out sections right here. Truthfully, it's a little hidden, but right next to the DocuSign dropdown, you're going to have something called a working folder. And within this working folder, this is actually just an organizational method within this DocuSign room right here. So if we take a look and we give this dropdown a click, you'll see Room Docs. It's the only option here when we first create DocuSign rooms. And once I give that a click, then it'll open up all of the different files that are inside that folder. Now, since I'm kind of combining DocuSign 101 and 201 here today for you guys, I do want to kind of also mention, if you wanted to create multiple folders right here, multiple working folders, like say just a room docs, right? And maybe you want to create a signed folder so you don't have to scroll between documents that are signed and documents that are not signed. What we can do over here is we can actually go to our DocuSign rooms right here, and you'll see that you have that room docs right here, that small little folder right here. And giving this a click on the right hand side, we have actions, and we'll give actions a click right here, and you'll see the option add folder. So now for this folder, maybe I'll write signed, or buy or sell, or whatever it is that you're looking for to kind of give you a better organizational method within your DocuSign rooms. This would be typically what we'd be placing right here. So I'm just going to write sign docs. I'm going to hit create right here. And as you see, now we have a room docs and we have a signed docs right here. If I were to go back to my KW command opportunity right here and refresh, you should see that second option right here. So now we can start to divide up our documents here. Now again, you're typically first with a room docs right here. So this is what we're originally starting off with. And again, as we're kind of orienting ourselves to the layout of the DocuSign room, right? The first section to kind of focus on is the top left-hand corner right here. This is going to indicate what opportunity within your KW command you are currently inside of. So even though this is DocuSign Rooms, everything's connected to that Morgan Heitzma listing right here. So as you see, that Morgan Heitzma listing. Scrolling down here a little bit more, it just kind of gives a DocuSign Rooms ID and as well as a date created. And right below that is going to be different options pertaining to this one room right here. So if you want different options inside this one room, we can go ahead and toggle through all these options. And I'll get to these options here in a minute. But taking a look at the very top here, if we take a look at these options at the very top, what we're actually doing is we're leaving this DocuSign, this specific DocuSign room, and we're just going to kind of like the DocuSign room dashboard. So as you see right here, we're actually outside of Morgan Heitzma listing now, and same for all these up at the top right here. So keep in mind, everything below this title right here is going to be what you're doing for this one room here. Now, as we take a look right here, the documents section is what it automatically enters us into when we go, when we click on that go to transaction inside of our opportunity. And you'll start off having a blank DocuSign room right here, but we can click on add right next to the actions right here. We can click on add, and this will give me a number of different drop-down options depending on where I want to pull forms from. So as we're taking a look right here, we can pull forms from our computer, much like how you saw inside of the opportunities. We also can pull forms from our Google Drive, Dropbox, and Box. And we have two additional options right here for our DocuSign forms and our zip form. I believe for those of you who are in California, you still may be using zip forms, and some other market centers may be as well. So this will be where you go to pull the zip forms, the transactions folders, as well as the libraries. For a lot of the other market centers, I believe we've transitioned to the DocuSign forms. And this will be primarily the main source that we pull forms from. Giving this a click right here, it'll open up a pop-up here, and it'll give me a number of different documents that I can select. and pull into my room right here. Once I select and pull into the room, now I can edit this document and send it out to get signatures. Now, clicking on that blue add button again and Docusign Forms again, we'll come back to this pop-up here. On the left-hand side of this pop-up, we will have packets as well as library. So packets is a new update within Docusign here. So this may be the first class that you guys are hearing about packets, if your Market Center hasn't let you guys know already. But packets right here used to be called groups. And within groups, you had the forms that your Market Center would add for you. So this would be your Market Center form. The libraries would consist of your board forms. And no worries, I'm going to show you guys how to get these connected if you don't quite have them connected just yet. But as we're taking a look here, only Market Center forms were able to be entered in right here. And we can pull them into our Docusign Room, get signatures, and all that good stuff. But with a new update here with packets, what it actually did is it kind of condensed this a little bit more to have each packet have their individual folders right here. So instead of just having forms and just random titles of your forms, right? We actually have a better organizational method so we can find what we're actually looking for. So as you see right here, we have listing disclosures. We can give that a click and it'll show those listing disclosures. So, so how we kind of view this is, again, that title with additional forms inside of it. So take a look through here. I have another cool feature when it comes to packets that I'll tell you guys here in a moment, like how to create them, right? But let's first make sure that we have these forms accessible to us. Okay, so I'm gonna click cancel right here. Within my Docusign Rooms, I'm just gonna click on my circle, my headshot on the top right hand corner, and then I'm gonna navigate down to preferences right here. Now within my preferences, I'm gonna take a look on this small little square right here, and I'm gonna choose the last option, integrations. Within integrations, this section right here, or I'll include zip forms as well because, you know, we have Market Centers with zip forms. This section right here will be how we connect our Market Center forms and our board forms to be able to pull them into our rooms, okay? So first and foremost, if you have never seen this page before, or if nobody has helped you set this up, reach out to us. We can absolutely help get that set up for you. But you may see add provider. This may be the only option in here. So you may not see any of this stuff right here. You may only see add a provider as a blue button. And when we click add provider right here, it'll give you a pop-up and you'll have about 6 different options right here. One thing that's a little bit hard to view is down right below the same row that cancel is on. This is going to be a clickable link that says continue to company forms without validation. And we can actually give this a click, and this is how we pull in our Market Center form, okay? When we click add provider again, if you belong to any of the kind of one-off alternative boards, you can go ahead and give those a click and sign in. If you belong to the Association of Realtors, we can give that a click, enter in our NRDS number, our last name, and our association, and then that should pull in your board forms. Last but not least, zip forms. I haven't forgotten about you. We'll give this a click right here. We'll go ahead and enter in our zip forms username and password right here, and that should allow you to be able to not have to enter that in every single time you create a room. It'll just automatically be here for you so you can pull from that drop down. So, all right, just kind of taking a look at the chat here. My Docusign says that email is already connected to Docusign, but when I log in, it says it's not connected. It sounds like that might possibly be an error in an email swap. However, Nicholas, if you're able to send out a message to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, we should be able to kind of troubleshoot that a little bit further for you, kind of take a look at see what's going on. Does systems use AI to auto grab the docs once it is set up properly? I believe there was initially a setup option to kind of have the market centers pull that in for you, but I'm not 100% sure if that is still a running feature or if they have discontinued that with the packet, right? When I put Docusign Room, it asked to try for free. Is that what we click on? Docusign should be free. If you follow the instructions through the settings here, it should not ask you for any payment options. It should not ask you, it should not say how many envelopes you have left. And it should be something, if you were to go to Docusign.com, I'm going to open up a new tab here. If you were to go to Docusign.com and log into your Docusign account, it should give you a black banner right here. This is one of the biggest indications that we are within a KW command platform. Sometimes there's other accounts that have this black banner, but this is a great indication that you are inside of your KW branded Docusign account. If this is light blue, if this is dark blue, chances are you're inside of the incorrect account. If it says you have this many envelopes left, that may be a personal or a paid account. Last but not least, one thing, since I'm inside of the homepage, like just Docusign.com, not entering through the opportunity, I just wanted to also mention that that you'll see switch to rooms right here. This is what I was mentioning when we first had our setup with Docusign, that if you use a personal or paid Docusign account, they're not set up or they're not equipped on the back end, and they won't have the option to switch to rooms because that's just not a feature that regular Docusign accounts have. So, so we want to make sure that switch to rooms is going to be available for you on that account. Now, as we're going through here, we'll go ahead and go back to that company forms right here. Once this is set up and connected for you, right, I'm just going to jump back over to my rooms. And then I'm going to go to that Morgan Heitzma listing or whichever opportunity that we were working on previously. I believe the newest opportunity, the opportunity that you were working on, the most recent, is going to be close towards the first one on the top left right here. Sure. Yes. Karen, how do we get there? That's a great question. Were you referencing how to get back to the Docusign Room or how to get to the integrations page? And as Karen's typing that out, as integrations page, yes, absolutely. So what's actually cool is we've made our way back into a full circle here. So the moment that we are inside of our opportunity and we click go to transaction, it's going to take us to our Docusign Rooms document section. So from here, we'll click on our name or headshot on the top right-hand corner, and we're going to scroll down to Preferences. Once inside of Preferences, on the left-hand side, we'll click on Integrations, and then it'll be right here for you. How can we delete a room within our dashboard that we no longer want? Well, you're just in luck because we just landed on this page right here. So as we're taking a look right here, if you see any accounts that you no longer want, right, we can right click on the opportunity and we can close the room right here. So let's still go ahead and use this one because we're talking about that one previously, but let me close this ABC test contact right here. We can right click on it. We can click on close room down below here, and then we can go ahead and close it up. Oh gosh, you cannot close until it's been submitted. Okay, so we may need to reach out to our market center and see if we can kind of have help getting that account closed. As your MCA is the administrator for the Docusign rooms, they may need to be the one to kind of help approve getting those closed down. Jumping back over in here, in the documents section of that Morgan Heitzma listing that we created. Again, we enter in the document section first. Right to the left of the document section, you'll have your details section. And this details section will actually auto pull information that you have entered within your opportunity right here. So as you see, it says Morgan Heitzma listing. We do have a contact name. So the listing client, so the seller is going to be Morgan Heitzma. The selling agent is going to be Scott, because Scott's the one that entered the opportunity. And as we scroll down through all this information, on the right-hand side, you have seller 1, seller 2, listing agent Scott Leroy right here, and then listing agent 2, buyer 1, buyer 2 right here, and so on and so forth. Now, as we take a look right here, I did kind of skip over seller 1 right here. Seller 1 does have my information pulled from that contact right here. Now, for example, if I found, if I didn't enter in this listing information just yet, right? I created the opportunity. I forgot to put in the listing. I can give that a click right here. I can search for that listing. And then I can go ahead and select that listing. And what it does is it auto pulls it into that opportunity. It also auto applies that information on the right-hand side right here. And then since we already have that Docusign account connected, we may just want to resync that transaction. So all that information that we've just updated is populated over into that Docusign room. So it says synced already, but I'm just going to go ahead and sync transaction again. Better safe than sorry, right? There we go. We went ahead and refreshed that. And as we jump back over to our Docusign details tab, we'll give this a refresh again, and it should pre-populate that listing information. So as you see right here, you see that location, 123 Main Street, that same listing we pulled into that opportunity. Once we synced it, it pulled in that information into our room. So, so again, a great example of why this is so important, right? Is if you are pulling in forms and you are applying information, and sometimes information is incorrect, like a seller's email is incorrect, and I don't know how to correct that, right? I would suggest checking this details tab, because if I made a mistake in an email address within, like, say, the opportunity, like in the contact profile, it may carry that over through to the Docusign as well. So in this case, we can just simply click edit on the top right hand corner right here, and we can edit all of this additional information. So I can go ahead and put in a phone number, an address, city, state, anything that that may not have been pulled over from that original opportunity. Once you're done making your edits right here, we can go ahead and click save, and then it'll say this room has been updated. Now, the reason why I want to kind of talk about this before we actually dove a little bit more into the documents is because Docusign has a unique feature, which is called a Docusign Power Form. And within Docusign Power Forms, as long as it is a designated power form, it'll actually scan all of the information within your details tab and apply it to that document. So you don't have to spend time reapplying your seller's name over and over and over again. It'll actually just find that and apply it for you. So pretty cool. This only really works with Docusign Power Forms, not quite PDFs or anything that you'd be importing inward. But taking a look here, we'll click on Documents. You notice that we did pull this random form in right here at the very beginning. I didn't fill anything out on this form at all, but I can already kind of see that there's a little bit of context in here. So I'm going to give this a click. We'll wait for this to load up. What's really cool about these power forms is not only does it automatically pull in that information, you see Morgan Heitzma, 123 Main Street, automatically apply that information. But it also allows you to be able to write out your documents in real time on this form. So, for example, if I needed to click a checkbox, or if I needed to write any descriptions right here, I can on this document. I can click Save and Close right here, and then I can get it ready to send out for signatures. So pretty cool to have that details tab work within the Power Forms. Now you'll really see the Power Forms icon within the bottom left-hand corner of each form here. So, sorry, I mean bottom right-hand corner. It'll look something similar to this right here. If you pull in a PDF, let me see if I have a PDF here for us. Let's see here. Oh, I don't think I quite have I don't have a PDF here, but if you pull in a PDF, it'll look like the same sort of icon, but it'll be red right here, and it'll say PDF. That's a great indication that if those of you who aren't quite sure the difference between like a PDF, a Power Form, those types of documents, think of a PDF as if you took a picture or a screenshot of that document. It'll be unable to be edited. So PDFs are going to be a little bit trickier. Think of the Power Forms as the ones that are really malleable for you to be able to edit and adjust. Now, as we are taking a look right here, if this document is ready to be sent out for signatures, right? This document looks good. We can actually give the checkbox on the top left-hand corner a click right here. And as we do, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's going to be a menu option that appears when a form is selected. So as we see right here, with that new menu option, we're actually going to be looking for this pen right here that says Create Envelope. Once we give this a click, this is the second most recent update. It happened probably about 4 to 6 months ago, probably. Docusign, when we create an envelope, it automatically take us to the portion where we're setting that envelope up. But also it has an update now where if you wanted to apply anybody within this form to pull in that information based off of the details, we can. So we don't have to manually enter that in. So if I wanted to say seller 1, if I clicked on this right here and clicked on continue, it would automatically pull in my name, my email information to allow me to send this out. So I'm going to try this with one option right here, but I'm going to leave Scott's information out. We'll hit continue right here, and on the next page, you'll see your document. You'll see an option to upload other documents in case you have forgotten any. And then down below right here, you'll have your recipient. And as you see, since I selected that seller 1, since I'm the seller 1 within that opportunity right here, it pulled in my information. Now, again, something to keep in mind, if this is your first time creating an envelope or sending out for signatures, truthfully kind of treat this portion kind of like exactly what you do with a physical letter that you mail up and send out, right? Only as we're taking a look at this digital platform, it's going to have the same sort of words, but a little bit different meaning. So your recipient, your envelope is essentially going to be your email that you're sending out. So as we're taking a look at this envelope, what is inside of the envelope? We got one document. I think we only had one document in there to begin with, but if I had multiple, I could go ahead and select that additional room documents right here, but I only have that one. Scrolling down right here, the add recipients. This is going to be a very important part because I have noticed that there is a small little technical glitch on the back end of this Docusign section. So as we're taking a look right here, we have seller 1. If I wanted to add another signer, I can click add recipient right here. This is really cool right here. This is the second or third update that we have. Again, before we'd have to enter in the name and enter in the email address. Now we have the ability to just type in a name, and it'll scan all of the names that you have inside of your Docusign, and it'll actually pull it up for me to be able to select. So now I'm able to kind of see who I want to send this out to and be able to adjust it accordingly. Now, when we have two signers right here. We may have to think about who's going to be the first signer, who's going to be the second signer, who's going to be the third signer, so on and so forth. Taking a look right here, one of the first checkboxes is going to be set signing order. And this is where that kind of technical issue I've seen come into play. So starts off great. Morgan Heitzmo is the first person that we've entered in. So they're signer number 1. I just added Scott, so they're signer number 2. But once I start to adjust this and say, well, actually, I think I might want Scott over here as signer number 1. Look what happens to my number 1 and number 2 right here on the left-hand side. I'll scoot this over. And now all of a sudden, it kind of had like a little back-end glitch right here where now you only have signer 1 and signer 1. So we really want to make sure that we adjust these if they come out in an incorrect order right here, okay? So so again, just please keep in mind that the signing order may need to be manually adjusted to ensure that it is sent out correctly, okay? So there we go. So Scott's going to be signer number 1. I'm going to be signer number 2. I just adjusted that manually, so I made sure that it was correct. And as I scroll down right here, the last section is going to be the message. Now, AKA, what does the email say? And Docusign already does a pretty great job of sending out an email with a full, robust click here to sign. So we don't really need to add too much additional context unless we'd really like to, right? So the email subject line is going to pull in the information on the document that I'm sending over. So just auto pull that. But if I wanted to just say, please Docusign these documents. And then any additional context, right? We need these documents in by next Tuesday. Please be sure to check section A and B, so on and so forth, right? So you can add additional context up to 10,000 characters, okay? So if you need that. Now, taking another look here, I'm going to just go ahead and hit next. And after we set up what that email is going to look like, we have the ability to apply our tools. And the way that we look at this right here is the left-hand side is going to be all of the tools that we can apply to this document right here. So if I wanted to say that I needed a client signature right here, I can apply that tool. If I need to have a initial, I can pull that over and I can apply that tool right here. Tools are going to be on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is going to be all of the options for your tools. So for example, if I click on my sign again, it'll open up a section of options for me to adjust this tool right here. So taking a look right here, the first section is going to be Scott Leroy. Since we had Scott as signer number 1, they're going to come up as an orange or yellow tools right here. Signer number 2 is going to have their very own color, which is typically blue. And then as you go on and add more signers, I think signer number 3 is like red or orange, and they just keep on going on. So that way, when we go and apply different individuals to different documents right here, we can very clearly see who is going to be signing on which section right here. Now, if I needed to adjust any of these, right? Say actually Morgan needs to sign this one and Scott needs to sign this one right here. We'll just go ahead and click on the object. On the right-hand side, we'll click on the tools right here, and I can just toggle these back and forth, okay? Bam. And taking a look at this right here, the second option right here on a large number of these tools is going to be, is this field required or is it going to be optional? As everything is in a filled out color, this indicates that this field is required in order for your client to continue onward with the signing process. So taking a look at this right here, maybe this initial is going to be optional. So on the right-hand side right here, I can uncheck required field. And what it will do is it'll actually still have a color around it, but it'll be hollowed out, so to say. Same thing with the sign right here on Scott's sign. I'm going to uncheck this right here. And even though it's hollowed out, you'll still have a color here available. Now, I'm really happy that I chose this document right here because there's going to be another color that we very so plainly see, and that is going to be all of these text boxes that we were filling out to ensure that this was a complete document. Now, I've gotten this question before. How do I remove that? I don't want my clients to be able to have the option to add any of this additional information. Truthfully, what this is right here is this is only for you, the client, you, the agent, the person who's sending this document out to view and edit. This is essentially your last call for your document to edit or adjust any information before it goes out. Because if we take a look, there's also going to be a preview section on the top right-hand corner right here. If we click on preview, aka what is my client going to see, you can very easily notice that all of those sections are not sections that they're going to be able to edit or adjust. Okay, so very important to kind of note that that even though you see this, these grayed out sections right here, truthfully, last call for you to make any adjustment. Now, as we're taking a look right here, this is kind of not the best document to send out, but let me actually hit the back button right here. I'm going to remove Scott from this document so we can just send this over to myself and view what that looks like to receive the document. Before I do so, before I delete Scott, just also note, I forgot to mention that you also have the ability to adjust what is this client going to be doing with this document. Do they need to sign? Do they just need to receive a copy? And then additionally, right next to the options of what this individual is going to be doing, you have our customize. And this just allows you to be able to add any private message or add an access code in order for them to be able to view and sign the document. So I'm going to hit delete right here. I'm going to delete Scott. I'm just going to use myself right here. And then we're just going to send this document over. It removes Scott's information because he's no longer a part of this document. And then on the right-hand side, on the very bottom, you'll see this orange send button. We can go ahead and click on send. Before I do so, I do also want to show you the actions right next to preview on the top right. And this allows you to be able to save and close if you still need to work on this envelope before you send it out. So for me, I'm just going to hit send right here. It's going to be sending out. I'm going to grab a new tab here. And once it gets sent out, right next to the document section, so again, just to kind of reorient ourselves, this is what the opportunities jumps us into when we click on the go to transaction. Right two sections over, you're going to see envelopes right here. When we click on envelopes, this is going to be where all of your envelopes are. Whether they be already completed envelopes, whether they be in the process of being signed, or whether they be drafts. Now, as we're taking a look right here, I did get an email. This is what that email looks like right here. So Docusign says, please sign these, and I wrote these documents instead of the document name. And then this is that original stock standard, what your clients see if you don't edit this at all. So Morgan Heitzma sent you a document to review and sign. Review the document. Once I give this a click, keep in mind this is from the client's point of view now. Your client will be able to accept the agreement, click on continue. And then when they click on this tab right here, it'll actually bring them over to every option that they need to sign or engage with. So really your clients just need to follow this next button right here, and then it'll give them the option to go ahead and apply them. Last but not least, your clients also don't need a Docusign account. Okay, so they can you can send this to them. They can sign it at the very end. So once I sign this right here, they don't need to do anything other than adopt and sign a signature. And once we complete that, here, I'll sign that one too. Once we complete that, your clients can click finish right here. and it'll give a pop-up right here. It may look like they're requiring you to sign in, but truthfully, it just says if you want to, you can sign up for a free DocuSign account. But I can click no thanks. Again, from the client's point of view, it may be best to also highlight that they can download and print this document as well. So so you have that ability to do that once you're done signing. So I hit no thanks right here. Your clients get a pop-up that says you finished signing. You'll receive an email once everybody has signed right here. Going back over here, we'll see that we're waiting for others. When I hit refresh right here, you'll see that it has been completed because that document has been signed. You can actually jump into these envelopes as well. So if we're waiting on the third signer and then the fourth signer still needs to sign and there's a wrong email or something went incorrectly, you can actually click on, oh, I already sent this out. But let me just create another one really quick here. What you should be able to do is you should be able to actually have the ability to void or correct these envelopes as well before they actually get sent out. Bear with me for just a moment. There we go. And we'll go ahead and we'll use this again. We'll hit next. I'm just going to drag a signature drop right here. We'll send that over. And so I just very quickly created another envelope here, but you get to see that draft. You also get to see please sign. And once we jump in here, again, if you're still throughout the process, if somebody still needs to sign or the deal falls through or anything like that, we can actually click on the more button and void the envelope, or we can go ahead and click on correct right here, make any corrections to the document. And what it'll do, again, because all eyes of the party need to view the most up-to-date contract or form, it'll resend that down the list again. So so that's how you go ahead and adjust those envelopes if you need. But I'm just going to go ahead and back out over here. And there's going to be a couple other things that I want to kind of mention. I know we only have about 5 minutes left, but I'll try and get through this pretty quickly here. As we're taking a look right here, one of the new features, the documents feature right here. You have DocuSign forms, much like what I was talking at a little bit earlier, the packets right here. You yourself are going to be able to kind of create these packets along with your market center. Okay, so that's one of the new features that they allowed. Before it was only the market centers that had the ability to do this, but now we kind of have the ability to kind of create these packets as well. How do you do that? What we do here is first taking a look at our DocuSign room right here. We can actually go up and we can click on My Documents. Within My Documents right here, we've now exited the specific DocuSign room, and again, this is just free floating within the back end of DocuSign rooms right now. My Documents will have forms and personal right here. When I click on forms right here, you may not have anything that shows up, so you may not actually have any of these right here to begin with. But if you wanted to create any new forms, new packets, we'll click on this new packet button on the right hand side right here. We'll give it a name, and what I would suggest is as we saw those forms in that drop down, I would suggest giving it a number or like an A or something like that, because I believe they're going to be categorized in like alphabetical order. So numbers come first and then letters. So I'm just going to do 1A right here. I'm going to hit continue. And again, these packets should really represent, the name should represent what you're actually looking for, right? Are these seller packets, buyer packets, disclosure packets, right? So so whatever it is that you're specifically trying to organize. And then next it says select library. Now just know that again that you may not have as many options as I have right here, but you should have at least one option to select your market center forms right here. So just gonna select one right here. And then as you pull in that market center, those market center forms, it should show you all of the forms that you should be able to pull in to this packet right here. So I'm going to just pick a few random forms right here. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And it says you successfully created packet form. And as you see, we have 1A right here. If we wanted to, we can click on the 3 dots. We can edit the packet, copy it if we needed to, or delete it if we no longer need it. Now, once we go back to our Docusign rooms now, we'll go back to that Morgan Heitzma listing. We'll go to the document section. We click on add document right here and Docusign forms. You should see that packet that you've created and you've edited right here on the left-hand side. So now you can start to pull these specific packets that you've created. One last thing I forgot to mention, and it's a really great indication right down here, is the 3 different colors of the documents or the forms right here. So the bottom left, this is a green signed form. This just lets you know that all parties have signed. This has come back and this is a completed document right here. This is the PDF that I was talking about previously, where there's going to be very limited editability. It may not pull in the details from the details tab. It's just pretty much an image of the document. And then last but not least, you have the power forms right here, the ones that do pull in the details from the information from the details page. And then again, the details page pulls information from the opportunity. So again, if there's anything that's incorrect on the information, right, on the client or the listing, anything like that, check your opportunities first, then refresh, resync that transaction, and then check your details and then edit and save. And that should help clear up any discrepancies that you're seeing. Last but not least, let's go ahead and test out this signed document. We did create that folder at the very beginning here. So if I pull this over here, I should be able to snap it. Oh, let me open it up. I should be able to snap it into whichever folders I need. So now I can go ahead and very easily organize all of my signed documents into that signed folder right here. Last but not least, let me go ahead and jump over to the document section again. You have your signed docs. I can jump in and now I can go ahead and snag that signed document. Now I did see some questions in here. How can I delete people, right? So last 2 things, I know I'm going to run over maybe about 5 minutes or so, but if you want to stick around and learn about contacts, adding transaction coordinators, adding people to your address book to be able to pull up that information, auto-populate it, I'm going to talk about that right now. Right here, when we take a look at our Docusign room, right? So I'm just going to be looking at this Morgan Heitzma listing right here. So if I need somebody like a transaction coordinator or somebody on my team, if I need them to kind of have access and view these documents internally, so inside of the Docusign room, I can actually go to the opportunity, or sorry, I can go to the Docusign room, and then I can click on this people section right here. It's going to be in between documents and envelopes. Clicking on people right here, as this is internal, we're going to actually go and send an invite to the specific person that we need help with our documents. So we can put in the email, first name, last name, what side of the transaction they're on, and what role they're playing within that room. If you no longer need that individual, right? I don't know if I have one that I need to get rid of. There we go. If I need to remove that individual in the people section, I can click on these 3 dots right here. And click on access right here. And then this should allow you to be able to view what they have access to and what they don't have access to. There you go, side and room role right here. And then we can start to kind of take a look at these. And if we need to make any adjustments, we can feel free to do so. As we're taking a look at adding contacts or clients to your address book to pull up in your envelopes when you're sending envelopes out. What we can do here is on the top right hand corner, we can click on your name or your headshot, and you can click on your contacts right here. And taking a look at this right here, these are all the people that we can just add to our address book. So this is the directory. So we may not be able to adjust this, but taking a look right next to the directory, there's that address book. So if I need to add any contacts, so this one I do not need to send an invite out to. I can just add the first name, last name, email, and save it. So when it comes time to send an envelope out, like Michael Scott over here, we can go ahead and pull that in. We can type in Michael Scott, and it'll automatically populate with Michael's information. So hopefully that kind of helps. I'm going to stick around for a few extra minutes for any kind of additional questions that you have. But for those of you who are watching this at a later date, I truly appreciate you spending the time here. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'd love to help answer any additional questions you may have. Thank you, and have a fantastic day.